All right, this episode 7 of Oh By the Way. I'm gonna intro this real quick. This only gonna be audio. That's the first thing, right? The second thing is I'm sick. Um, I am sick, so I say that because I know like people from my job they listen. I left work a little early because I'm sick, and I am sick, and I've been laying down. But I wanted to take a second to talk to Damon about this. So this is Oh By the Way, episode 7, and I mean we're gonna get like right into it. Um, y'all already know what we talking about. So Damon, what's your initial thoughts, man?
Man, this is we're gonna start off by saying, man, this is like the slap, what I mean, across the world, man. So, what I mean, that's how we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
start this thing off, man. My initial thoughts, man, when I first saw it, because of course I wasn't looking at the Oscars, but my initial thoughts was when it was popping up on all my feeds and everywhere else, I was thinking like, nah, this is staged, gotta be staged. Will Smith is a class act. He wouldn't do no shit
Yeah.
like this, right? So then I go and I take a look at it and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Right. Now, first off, I think like this. We was boycott. We was I say we. I'm talking about the world was boycotting, trying to boycott the Oscars for lack of diversity, right? So this year, what we do, we got a black producer, we got a black host, we got a couple people going for one of the biggest awards you can get at the Oscars. And I'm talking about best actor. We had a couple people in that,
Mm-hmm.
so we was there, right? And for Will Smith to do the stunt and pull the stunt that he pulled, I'm a little taken back. And I'm saying this because I am as I know, I'm a Will Smith fan. And I'm a little bit taken back on what happened when he slapped Chris Rock. Now, I'm on Team Rock with this, man. And I'm going to say this about Chris Rock. Straight professional, right? How he took that, kept doing this thing, tried to keep doing this thing. You could tell it affected him, but he stayed in the game. He did what he had to do, and he finished strong. For Will Smith, man, I just think for you to go up there and do that, and then have the nerve to freaking cry in your speech, you just did one of the most gangster things since Kanye, you know. Kanye and Taylor Swift, and then you go in there and cry in your freaking speech. And I'm saying this because I feel like a comedian. If you got a comedian up there, I feel like everybody, it's a comedian, and we know comedians has no limit. No one is off limits to a comedian, and that's kind of how I looked at it, man. No one is off limits. And it wasn't a bad joke. It wasn't like he freaking went in there and said some like crazy ass like shit. It's like a joke that a comedian will say. Um, but I think it could have got a whole lot worse than what it did, man. So I'm glad Chris Rock did his thing and stayed the course. Because what if he would have hit him on the way out? You know what I mean? This dude then slapped you, then smirked and flexed himself out and walked off stage. Man, so much stuff could have happened just then, man. So I'm glad that Chris Rock did what he had to do and was very professional. What you got? What's your take?
So first question is, what was it even a good joke?
Not really. I mean, I don't necessarily say it was a good joke or a bad joke, but it was a Chris Rock making a joke. I don't think it was a great joke. No.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't even funny.
Yeah.
Like you understand why Jada was like upset about it?
Yeah, because she has a hair thing. Yeah,
Alopecia.
yeah, alopecia. Okay. Yeah.
So she cut her hair or whatever. And then on top of that, so first of all, it's crazy because at first I didn't want to talk about this because we do Navy stuff, and then it's a hot topic, and we normally don't just jump on hot topics. And then I was like, well, we still should kind of talk about it. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to talk about it. But it's a couple things you said, and I wish I remembered it all. But I mean, my first thought is like, damn, didn't we just talk about G.I. Jane the other day or whatever? I mean, who? Who knew that GI Jane jokes was like off limits? You know what I'm saying? So we just now talked about GI Jane, but I heard that I see people like with this conspiracy theory because Demi Moore cheated on I
Oh
guess Bruce
yeah,
Willis, I want to say,
yeah,
for Ashton Kutcher,
yeah.
and he was like half her age. So they saying that Chris Rock, like, it's a conspiracy theory, like the joke was actually genius because like August Alsina is half Jada's age, so it was like a layered joke. I don't know.
I
I
don't
mean,
know
I do
either.
know
I
that
don't know.
that's a conspiracy theory that's crazy. I do know that Chris Rock is a genius comedian, though. I do know that. So, I mean, if he did do that as a joke, then it is what it is.
Yeah,
I also know that in 2016 he went at Will and Jada pretty hard in a and at the Oscars, like the same place he went after them real hard about because that's when they boycotted. And he's like, yeah, how they gonna boycott? Something that they wasn't even invited to. He said something like, them going to the Oscar, them getting invited to the Oscars, like me getting invited to, Rihanna panties. Like it just didn't. No, them boycotting the Oscars like me boycotting Rihanna panties.
yeah,
I wasn't invited. You know what I mean? So I know he said that. So I'm assuming some of this stuff is like bubbled up
yeah. That's
stuff
that's
with
that's what I
Will,
think too.
and then you got everybody else. Like they've been, just a target of like thoughts, like people thoughts or whatever like that. It's times that I've been hard on Will because of like some of his roles that he play in and the ways in which he plays those roles or
Yeah,
whatever. It's crazy that you brought up Chris Rock though because that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say I think that people are glossing over like how well Chris Rock handled it. Like he handled it like professionally, but he handled it the only way he should. Like I said, it's some fights that people supposed to win. Like we just talked about this the other day. Like he did what you supposed to do, man. Like let me let him have it. Like you know what I mean. Like who knows what he could do, what he couldn't do. But he took the road of who cares how this looks publicly. I'm gonna do this. Like you said, he could have done anything. He could have like hit Will Smith over the head with something. It could have got crazy, but he didn't. He decided to like just take that smack and keep it going.
yeah,
He really didn't really even like lose his pivot. Like from what I saw, like he kind of stayed on his pivot. I think his head might have moved a little bit, but I mean, it looked like a hard smack, but he stayed on his pivot. Um, I'm not gonna get into. I don't think I want to get into like if I think Will Smith should have slapped him or not because it's a human response, and we just talked about that on the last episode about just different human responses. So I could tell you that I don't know if that would have been my human response. I don't think so. Um, I also could tell you that my years with Angeline, just from knowing, and I don't know what their years have been, but I know that they aren't the same years that Will and Jada had either. And we not in limelight and we not dealing with constant people like kind of picking apart our relationship and stuff like that. So I don't know how I would respond to stuff like that because it's added pressure from her. And you could jump in and challenge anything I say
yeah.
at any time. I don't want to do like a monologue about it. So I will say this though, Will Smith's he won an Oscar. So shout out to Questlove from Philly. And then shout out to Will Smith, also from Philly, who won an Oscar. And that's something we talked about. And that's partly why I wanted to get on here and talk, because I reviewed his book and we discussed him winning, like his chances to win an Oscar. And I'll say this. I think he worked hard for his Oscar. Um, and I mean every bit of that, like that he worked hard for it. Years of hard work to get an Oscar. I think that the slap overshadows the Oscar and the hard work that he did for the Oscar. I still don't think that he should have gotten it for that role. I think he did great in that role, but I don't think he should have got it for any other role yet either. But
Mm,
I do want to acknowledge how hard he has worked. It was sometimes I'm like, yo, this dude is only doing this like to get an Oscar. So I think his life changed a whole lot. A lot of his mystique was stripped away. He got a whole lot more like transparent in who he is as a person. And again, all of that culminated to like him finally like winning an Oscar. And I noticed that like actors either got to play like the craziest role, like quadriplegic, um, this crazy. some other stuff with like a disease eating you alive, and you saw Denzel
Documentary.
had to be like,
Yeah.
yeah, something crazy to win the Oscar, like the Joker. You gotta play like the Joker, or your life, gotta be in shambles, like in real life. I noticed that's when like they win Oscars. So I'm gonna say this, and that's not all, that's not 100%. But I was looking at like the last like 10 years of Oscar like winners for like best actor. Every time somebody played the Joker, almost damn near, they damn near, for the most part. Joaquin Phoenix won for playing the Joker. Um, Heath Ledger won for playing. Heath Ledger died playing a
Yeah.
role, so it's like it's an intense kind of thing when you doing that. Or your role, Sean Penn for Harvey Milk. I think Matthew McConaughey won for Dallas Buyers Club. It's like a bunch of just different. Like he had AIDS in that, I think. It's a bunch of different. A whole lot. And if he didn't have AIDS, somebody please correct me. But it's a whole lot of things that got to happen to win like an Oscar. And
Yeah.
Tom Hanks had to be Forrest Gump or the Philadelphia role. It's just it's a crazy pull, and to watch Denzel be able to do it for playing like King, King Richard is like, it's cool. King Richard
Yeah.
it didn't seem like, but again, on his life on the other side, it was a lot. Like he wrote a book. He just got more transparent than ever before.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of mystique when it comes to like actors, like him of his and Tom Cruise's caliber. You know what I'm saying? And like to have to get that kind of transparent and strip down a lot of who you are. Finally, win an Oscar is pretty dope. I mean, we saw how Leonardo DiCaprio had to win an Oscar. He had to like damn near die in like freezing conditions and look like he fought a bear and all types of shit. So I will say this: I personally I hate how much Denzel and Leo have to do to win an Oscar. Um, and I think somehow it's a military comparison there, and I think we could get into it a little bit in a second. But I just hate how like the people that's consistently great, like they got to be greater than however great they are to like win an Oscar. Like Will Smith could do like Suicide Squad and After Earth and like every other like shitty movie he does. So it's like by the time he plays in like something that's like halfway good or good, it's like damn, like it's almost time. While Leonardo DiCaprio and Denzel are like cranking out like if we talk about evals, they cranking out like 5 number one EPs every damn like movie they make. You know what I mean? Like I think they both like really, really, really destroyed the roles they played this year. Um, I didn't see this the other one, so I can't. I'm sure Andrew Garfield did really good in the movie he played in, but I know Denzel did great in Macbeth because I saw it. But it's on par with every. When I saw it, I'm like, okay, it's Denzel. It's like, damn, this shit is great, but it's Denzel. Leonardo in the movie he played in, great. You know what I mean? But hey, it's Leo. This movie ain't the greatest, but hey, it's Leo doing what Leo does all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, like it's almost like graded on a curve, kind of like when they talk about this, when they used to talk about like the Simone Biles comparison to like the field. Um, so I'll say that. Denzel won the night with his quote, whatever he told Will Smith about like in the time of like your greatest time, the devil will be there or whatever to challenge you, make you look bad or whatever he told Will Smith was pretty was pretty powerful. All right, let me ask you a question, man. Is a prank? Do you think is a prank a joke?
Yeah. I mean, a
All
prank
right,
is
so
a joke until the prank goes sideways. The prank gets somebody hurt. Prank freaking breaks equipment and all that type of stuff. That's when the pranks go go the opposite way. But I do think pranks are meant to be a joke.
so are you familiar with like pranks, like the pranks that they be
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
on TikTok,
yeah.
like
Not a fan of it
going
though.
on like
I laugh at it, but I'm
yeah,
not a
they
big
like
fan of
going
it.
on they yeah. So let's say that you're on Walmart or something, somebody come around and slap your hat off, and then like slap a ball in your face, and they run and you can't find them. Are you gonna laugh like, oh man, it's a prank?
Nah,
Yeah, because it's not funny, man.
nah,
Like it's not a joke. Like in my opinion, it's not a joke. Like it's as funny as whoever takes it to be
yeah,
or whatever, right? And I don't think I think those dudes that's doing them pranks on like TikTok are like looking for an excuse to like do something like that. Like when they go into the hood and they saying things that, that'll get them like shot, stabbed, smacked, beat up, whatever like that.
Yeah.
Now my question is like, comedians, like, do we feel like comedians like, and this is a question, this ain't my opinion, but do we feel like comedians like kind of tape joke over every package? So like they could say shit that's like totally like uncalled for. And it's not about the Jada Pinkett joke either or whatever. But I mean, do you think that could be a thing? Like for a comedian to just say something, a joke, and then just get something off?
I
Like,
mean,
let's say your mom died of cancer.
they can do that, but I also think that's how they make a living, man. That's how they make a living off jokes. We don't hire them to stand up in front of people if we didn't think that they were gonna say whatever or be funny or go at anybody in the audience. That's what we hire them for. Like we pay them to come up there and be funny. Right? We don't do it just for them to go up there and just speak whatever. We hire them to be funny.
Yeah, but the audience don't. I mean, I believe that the audience should be prepared. I believe that if you and I got a zillion competing thoughts when it comes to this stuff that got to do with Will Smith and Chris Rock. I believe that like if you sign up for fame and all of that stuff, you got to understand that this is what's going to happen. And I know that Will Smith is primed for it. Like I know he does get it and understand it. But I also think as a human, it's probably a limit to how much of it, you could take. And I think and I got the whole thought, like, if I was a celebrity and I was going through that and like I'm subject to scrutiny all the time, and I can't get off on like every single person in my comments, I could get off on this dude right here. Like, like let me get off on you. You're right here. You're a celebrity just like me. You're not like just this rando in the basement, like making like statements and stuff. You're a celebrity just like me. Let me get off on you. Do I think that if you choose violence, that you should choose violence somewhere else and not like in public, like in front of like the TV
world
or whatever? Like you could wait for this guy like backstage and do it. Yeah, I think you can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know if I would do that, but also I don't think my wife would demand that of me to do.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that's my next point is like, I feel like obviously this was fueled by Jada's feelings. Right. And I say this as it should have been. Right. So I believe that Chris Rock did exactly what he needed to do in the circumstance that, was presented to him, whether I agree or not with Will Smith, whatever the circumstances that was presented to him, I think he did whatever he needed to do to help his mental health and how he felt or whatever. I don't get off on taking those kind of actions, for those for like selfish purposes, like violence for like, selfish purpose. Because the joke was already said, but I guess like I was telling my man real earlier, I guess it was for like future references. Like this is over. Like you're not gonna be joking about us. But I do think it was fueled by Jada. I'm listening to you though.
Yeah.
Like I said, you could jump in.
Yeah, it's fueled. It was fueled by Jada, but I don't think Jada demanded Will to do anything, man. I just think it's the pressure that had built up over time with their relationship being in the public and all that type of stuff that's been going on with them. I think it was a boiling point. Now I think Will boiled over with all the emotion and stuff of him winning an Oscar or him being eligible to win the Oscar and all that build up. And you could tell how he just like poured it out at the end when he was like really emotional and all that stuff. I think it was a build up, man. Like, you know what? This is it. This is the last time this shit happened, whatever. Now with
and then Jada didn't clean it up either. Like, like if it would have been like Jay-Z or something, Beyonce would have, came on and cleaned it up, said something, Jada ain't cleaned it up. Like she might not have endorsed it, but again, like I really don't know if we know what goes on.
Yeah. We don't know all the facts.
But what the reason why I said it was obviously fueled by Jada's feelings is because Will was laughing at first, like when Chris Rock got the joke off. Will was laughing.
Well, this is how I saw it, man. Like he said a joke right before, right, about the other guy and his wife. Like they wanted Will to win.
Yeah,
Will was laughing at that joke. As soon as he said the G.I. Jane joke, that started going away real quick. So I don't know if he was really laughing at the G.I. Jane joke. I think he was still laughing at the other
watch
joke.
it again.
Yeah.
Watch it again. Because I mean, he like you might be right. Like he might have been coming down from the laugh, not fully processed the G.I. Jane joke. But the laugh did stop for a second. Then the G.I. Jane joke came, and then he like laughed again. But again, he might not have. He might have just been
laughing
a
it
lot
off.
of time a comedian might talk. Yeah, you might not even really know what they said. You just kind of laughing.
Yeah.
You know, but whether that's it or not, now let's put ourselves in this position, right? And this is the part I really wanted to get to. Somebody say a joke about your wife.
Yeah.
You find that shit funny. You find a joke funny. You laugh a little bit, right? But you look over, your wife not laughing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do?
It depends. But it depends on what we doing, man. Like no shit. I'm telling you, man. If I was in Will Smith's spot, it'd have been after everything settled down, after whatever, and I would have approached old boy and I would have said my piece. I had to say something. You're right. You have to address the situation. The situation got to be addressed. Now,
yeah, but not even to him yet, though. Not to him yet. Somebody said a joke about your wife.
Yeah.
Right? You laughed at the joke. You laughed.
Yeah.
She didn't find it funny. You in direct sight vision of her. She ain't find it funny while you was laughing. You gotta do something soon. Or your night. That's the part that I'm getting at. Like, how does your night?
We talk.
How you?
I don't think.
Like, how your night going?
Like, if
she might want to leave early. Like, yo, let's go.
Yeah.
I don't even want to be here no more. You might not even be able to make it to talk to the dude after everything boils over. Like, because you are in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, you got to do...
Right? You in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I still don't think I would have handled it the way Will handled it, regardless.
What would you do?
I would have waited. I would have waited.
No, not even at the awards, like period. Somebody say something about you at a dinner party or something. Somebody say a joke, they throw it out, you know. It's crazy because like, you know, it's rarely a time where people would say a joke that's like demeaning, but maybe they don't know.
Yeah.
But they say a joke about your old lady. You find it funny. You cracking up like in your own world, and then you look over and she's stone faced.
Yeah, I'm finna straighten it out right there. But that's different. Right there. But I'm not in the media fucking world though. I'm not a superstar. I'm not a freaking that everybody look up to you and everybody. Some kids out there and people want to be you and all this type of stuff that goes on right there. I don't think I would have did that. You know what I mean at that time. But grown ups, we in a spot and you say something. I don't know if I've been even laughing, dude. Look, let me tell you this. Before I even laughed at the joke, I probably would have been already trying to catch her eyes to see what she laughing too.
You gonna look over, right?
Yeah, I would look over and see what's up right then. But yeah, man.
I mean, that opened a lot of layers for me. Your answer just opened a whole lot of layers though.
Yeah.
Because it's like, now it's like, all right, we demanding more out of a celebrity.
Yes. We do.
For the mere fact that they celebrity. Like we demanding a superhuman.
Not superhuman.
Mentality.
Not superhuman.
It's better than you.
Yes.
It's better than what you do.
I agree.
That's superhuman.
That is a role. And look.
Superhuman.
Look, I consider to sailors or to who are my family members or whoever, I'm considered a role model to those guys, right? Right?
Yeah.
Will Smith considered an over-the-top role model. We talking about on a whole nother level role model. Yeah. Now my role model that went up there and slapped the shit out of somebody on national TV. He's not my role model.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what the point I'm trying to make. You know what I mean? Like he's on a whole. You right though. I mean, he is held to a higher standard. Mm-hmm. He is when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, I just like I said, like it's basketball players that make decisions for the family. Yo, this what
I agree with that too.
Because my wife, you know, it's like, that's your wife. Like that's a lot of pressure to be like. I'm just thinking of the scenario to be like laughing at some shit that you thought was funny, but your wife didn't think it was funny, and now you got to deal with that car ride. You got to deal with everything that come along with that.
Hey, you gonna let him talk to me like that? You just gonna let him talk to me like that?
Yeah. And at that point, like, you know, I think a lot of people looking at that, like that part, but the deeper part for me is that you thought it was funny. You're in trouble, you know, not even that, even if you ain't think it was funny, but you just let them talk like that. But you were laughing. So I think like Will Smith had to like extreme payback. Like, yo, I gotta do something about this. Cause if I don't do nothing about like her, like being upset that I was laughing, this shit about to come back on me.
Yeah.
Like this about to come back on me. Like I was laughing at this, and this ain't Will Smith first time. Like if you read the book, like his little book or whatever that he wrote, like he didn't play pranks on her that she ain't find funny. You know, there's a lot of things that, you know, kind of happened that like, you know, he thought it was funny and humorous. This would be like another
Yeah.
like chapter in the book. Like
Yeah.
another time Chris Rock was boom and my dumb ass was laughing. I actually thought it was funny. It's like, oh no, I gotta do something about this. And that's like the extreme measure as far as what you gotta do. Like, all right, I can't just because you can't tell her that it was funny and she don't see the comedy in that, right?
Yeah.
You can't tell her that because it's however she receives it. So like you can't do that. And then you can't like, I don't know if you could be like, all right, I'm gonna just wait till this boil over, babe. She probably don't want to hear nothing you guys say. So you just gotta act. Cause like, all right, how can I take this back real fast? Let me get on stage and just slap this dude real quick and then walk away or whatever. And then she might be okay. But you still might have to hear about the fact that you was laughing on your way home. Like, you know, that's like my only thought about it. It's like, yo, I know she was pissed. And I kept noticing Lupita like back there just looking like, I love Lupita too. Like I love Lupita. But I kept noticing Lupita back there just looking super, super surprised. Like, what the hell
just happened
is going on? Like she just was looking
yeah,
like,
man.
like, what the
yeah. I think a lot of people, man, they got a lot of reaction from a lot of people, man. Like that's why I knew it wasn't staged, man. When I saw everybody expressions and shit, I was like, that shit is not staged, man.
Yeah, then it was like a whole ruckus, like, you know, a little bit. But we do know that Chris Rock ain't gonna press charges.
Yeah.
And then Jada apologized. Some people saying he should apologize to Chris Rock. I feel like he apologized where he needed to, because that's where he wants to be. He wants to be noticed by the Academy. Again, this all got to do with your choices as a person. We seeing people say, well, how come he ain't responding to August Alsina? How come boom, boom, boom? I don't know if he responded to August Alsina or not. I know that I didn't. I know that we didn't see it publicly.
Yeah.
But we some of the stuff that happened with August Alsina, we didn't see it publicly. And if he reacted, in my opinion, publicly, and he would have had to like set that up, like that would have been staged, like just to, you know, who knows what conversations they had back, you know, in the background, whether that be like they agree with each other on some stuff or they had disagreements. Who knows what they had that wasn't in, you know, our visual or whatever like that.
Yeah.
The Chris Rock thing just all happened to happen in a public forum, in a public place, on the biggest stage that it could possibly happen on.
That it shouldn't have happened on. I agree.
My biggest thought before we just mix it up about any other thoughts is that, like, I think being the husband to some women could be really hard. And in Will's case, I know that he's had like just reading his book, I know he's had a hard time. Like, you know, he did this whole big extravagant like gift for Jada one day for like one of her birthdays, and like she hated it. You know, it was like probably the most anybody ever done for somebody, but like she felt like it was grandstanding and just him being selfish or whatever like that, and she hated it. That would have been a hard challenge, I think, and I think that changed his whole thought process on, like, you know, marriage. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's kind of figure out a way to just agree with each other and walk the same road, walk the same path or whatever like that. It was a whole lot that came with that experience. So I will say that, and that's why I said, like, that's not the life that's not what I sign up for. I don't sign up to publicly smack the shit out of people with Angeline. You know, if I decided to do that, that would be my choice. I know she's not demanding that I do that. It's other ways that I could kind of win her honor and stuff like that. And that's probably by going offline, talking to the dude and stuff like that. I don't know if Jada is doing that, but I know some women will. You know what I'm saying? I remember talking to a girl when I was a little younger, a woman when I was a little younger. It was like this Tyler Perry movie where they walked past like a group of dudes, and the dude called the girl a bitch or whatever. And then one of the dudes in the group, they tried to catcall and she wouldn't go for it, so they called her a bitch. He was with the dude, and the dude pretty much didn't say nothing. And I remember the girl I was with, she was like, yo, that's crazy. You supposed to say something, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, yo, it's like 8 dudes there though. Like, do you just like knowingly like just get your ass whooped over just somebody calling, you know, the girl that you with for at that moment on like a first date or something weird or yeah, why whoever it is, like a bitch. Like, do you just knowingly walk into like the lion's den for like no reason? She's like, yeah, you supposed to,
Mm.
you know. And I'm not married to her. You know what I'm saying? I married a woman that is not demanding of that, you know, and that's not a knock on her, but that's something that I just knew I wasn't going like sign. I'm not signing up to just get my ass whooped on the strength that somebody hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just not something I signed up for. I'm willing to defend your honor. I'm willing to defend you in a lot of ways, whether that be getting my ass whooped or whatever like that, but not because somebody called you a bitch. Like, the thought process is, hey, babe, let's get in this car and just forget that this happened. You know what I mean? Now, if anything else happened on top of that, you know, it might be something, but I don't know. I mean, what do you do in that case? Do you like jump to the group of 8 dudes and like
I not well
be like, yo,
no
don't call my wife
no
a bitch?
no let me tell you, I had a similar thing like this happen, man. But it wasn't to that extent or whatever, man. But it was like a whole lot of motherfuckers there. But at the same
Yeah.
time, like it kind of like calmed down and everything just kind of like went like it's supposed to go, and like everybody just like, you know, calm down. But I feel like if I would have took it to another level, I feel like because we in somebody else's hometown, we not from around
Right.
there, and we got a lot of their family there, and I know it could have went way sideways if I would have went sideways. So I'm glad, in a way, I'm kind of like glad I didn't say too much. I didn't say anything, but I know if I would have, it'd have been one of those things. You know what I mean? I know it would have.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's a crazy situation to be put in, man. So you will hope that you and the person you were with is on the same page and say, okay, that shit ain't even worth it, man. You know what I mean? You will hope that's the case. A lot of times it's not the case, but you will hope that that's the case. There, you guys on the
Yeah.
same page and say, you know what, that shit wasn't worth it. You know?
Yeah, that she not like even looking for that out of you.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, she not even looking for you to do that. I mean, if she is, then you gonna be running up on stage like
like
Will
Will
Smith
Smith,
did.
man.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, to defend her honor, you
yeah,
know, in a way that you feel like. I mean, like I said, we don't know how Jada felt, and I don't even want to say her name. You know,
yeah,
I see what happens when
yeah.
you do. You know what I
But
mean?
but I. But I will say this though, man. I have to disagree with you when it comes to Will Smith. First off, I want to congratulate Will Smith also on winning Oscar's first Oscar. You right, it kind of got downplayed a little bit about you know, with the slap and all that type of shit. But I thought it was two other chances that Will Smith had a chance to win an Oscar, you know, and one was with Ali and the other
Pursuit of
one with Pursuit
Happiness
of
and Ali.
Happiness. I think he had opportunity. I think if it had been
Everybody say
another
that.
year, a year later on both of those, he probably had a possibility, you know, of winning those, especially with the Ali. I thought Ali was worthy of those awards. And if I'm not mistaken, I think a black person beat him out on both of those. Uh, but
So do you only think that, like, now we getting somewhere, you know, we got a real diverse audience. So do you only think that just because it was a year later that like it wouldn't have been a black person? So that's
no,
the
no,
reason
that's
why
not the case. I
you
just
think
said
he would
that.
have
I
had a
just said that's why
chance?
that's who he lost to, not necessarily. But I do think the fact that if it had been
Trippy,
maybe a
but
year later, he could have had a possibility of winning one. It's just the people
I'm
who he went
looking it
against,
up.
man. It was tough crowd, man. It was tough, you know, for him to
Nah,
win.
he wouldn't have won in '08. He wouldn't have won in '08. So that's a year later. And that
With the
was
Pursuit of
Pursuit
Happiness.
of Happiness. Yeah. Oh
Who
wait, he would have went up against Daniel Day-Lewis for There Will Be Blood. And Daniel Day-Lewis, that would have been Daniel Day-Lewis' second Oscar of 3 Oscars. He got more fucking leading actor Oscars than anybody or whatever. So he would have Daniel Day-Lewis is probably technically the best actor ever. Like damn near. Like, he one of the
Yeah.
best actors
Did
ever. So
that,
he
but
definitely
yeah.
wasn't gonna
I
be.
mean, it a bit. Yeah. I mean, I agree. But man, Ali was a good movie, man. He did his thing in Ali though. I mean, that's
No,
not
that was
downplay it.
no, that was
Pursuit of Happiness.
that was Pursuit of Happiness. Yeah.
Oh,
So
Jamie
I'm
Foxx beat
looking
him, I think, in Ali, right?
Jamie Foxx.
Was
I
it
don't know about
Ray?
that. Because I think Denzel beat him when he played in Ali. I think Denzel played in oh no, Russell Crowe played in Gladiator. So he won
Mm.
best actor in Gladiator. And then let me go to the '02 Oscar winners just to push it one year back to see who he would have went up against um, um, for best actor. I want to go to the O2 actors. So he would have went up against Denzel, and Denzel did Training Day that year, and Will
Ooh.
Smith wouldn't won.
Oh, yeah, beat
Wouldn't have
Training
won.
Day. Maybe the year after the other way, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I mean, I could keep going, man. Like I could keep going. Like Will Smith wasn't. Will Smith was, like I'm willing to go down the line on these movies with Will Smith, man. Like
I'm talking about the movie
be a
itself, man. There
hard
was some
time.
good movies he made right there, man.
I'm gonna be honest. I keep telling everybody I never saw Pursuit of Happiness to even have the argument. I saw like 40 minutes of it, and honestly, I wasn't really feeling it like that.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I feel like it was an Oscar, like kind of like motivated movie or whatever. But I'm gonna sit down and watch it after reading the book. But I mean, like I said, I don't want to stop your. You was giving Will Smith his props or whatever, so I don't want to
No,
like
I was
stop
done.
that.
I just know you pretty much, what you were saying about him earlier, man. Like this is like his only shot kind of like talk, you know what I mean? But I think he had a couple more shots before, man. He had his possibles, man. He had some possibles in there. But
Yeah.
but yeah,
I think
I think
he was on top of the world.
yeah, I
When he did those
mean, I
movies.
think you right on though, man. When it got overshadowed though, man. Like I think that was his night. He knew, and I think those guys know they got a great chance of winning, man. Already. I mean,
I don't think
they may not know. Hey, they may not publicly say it or whatever, man. And they know it's a war show, but I feel like if Will wouldn't have won, man, like that was it for him, man. He wasn't winning no more. Like no time. I think that was his.
yo,
That was it. And then the movie itself, though, man. Like I watched King Richards, man, and it was
yeah.
a motivating type movie, man. And I know Macbeth. I'm sure I haven't watched it, but I heard everybody talking shit about that movie, like how great it was. So
Yeah.
I kind of I was in like the thought process of what he could lose this shit to Denzel.
I don't think Will would have showed up. I don't think Will would have showed up if he ain't know he was winning. I
Yeah,
think that's how some of those awards go.
yeah,
Like, yo, you winning, man. Like, I don't think Will would have showed up
yeah,
if he ain't know. And I don't think he probably would have smacked Chris Rock if he ain't know he was winning. I think Will already knew he had that award. Like, I think he already knew he was winning that award. They boycotted the Oscars already. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, I don't think he would have
yeah,
showed up if he ain't know he
yeah.
was winning. I mean, that's hip. He did I mean, he's a product of hip hop. He's a product of Philly.
And do you think like for one dude, do you know how many jokes about to come out right now? You think that was it, man? Like right now, them comedians about to go in, man. They finna be in a joke limelight for a hot minute now, man. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Whew,
And then there's also now as a comedian, it's like it's questions about that. Like as a comedian now, like do you need to safeguard? Like do you need to kind of safeguard yourself from sir? I don't know if you saw like this video. It's like this dude who like challenged like Mike Tyson to fight or whatever, or he had a gun or whatever. Something happened. He got kicked out this club, and then like the bouncers got real aggressive. And then Mike called him back over and gave him a hug, but you could tell the dude was kind of some like a little messed up in the head at the time. But Mike Tyson gave him a hug and stuff. But just the being able to like access somebody like that,
yeah,
And I think that the security might not have stepped up because they might have been confused too about why Will Smith was walking up there. And I don't think you expect Will Smith to like slap somebody.
yeah. I know I didn't.
So even after he did it, like it ain't seem like he even got like, calmed down. Like the security don't seem like they ever rushed the stage to like do anything.
Nothing.
So,
He didn't slap
the
them, walked
question,
off real gingerly and easy, like like nothing. Like he know Chris
yeah,
Rock
he
was.
kind of
And
like,
the only thing else, man, is like threw me off a little bit. And I know it wasn't staged. I know it wasn't staged. But how Chris Rock put his hands behind his back. I didn't like that regardless, man. Like you always in like he coming up to talk to you or he coming up to do something and he got his hands square behind his back, man. Like you could have blocked that if you had your hand in front of you. You could have like threw your hands up or something. He just sit there and just took the full blunt of that slap, man. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, but he looked non-threatening. But and then one thing one thing I'm thinking about, Chris Rock might be very familiar with being rushed on a stage and maybe things we might not know about because it could have happened in a time long before us, but long before documentation. But Chris Rock, I would probably think he wasn't a stranger to somebody walking on
Yeah.
stage or even wanting to have a physical confrontation with him because
Yeah.
he's been a comedian for years. And they've been in smaller venues and shit like that. And I
Yeah.
just think the accessibility to be able to reach out and touch a comedian in today's time is where I also think like a comedian period in today's time is also a hard task.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to be a comedian in these times right now. In
Yeah.
the times that we value in mental health and we value in a whole lot of other things that seem like comedians are desensitized to even thinking about. I think it's a hard task.
Yeah, I agree, man. And I think what's going to come out in the near future, the next couple of days, we're gonna probably find out that this is more to them too. You know what I mean? Like they got some history, they got something. It's going to come out saying, I don't think the joke itself drove Will to that. I think it's going to come out. It was something else that triggered Will to go up there and do it. I don't know. Like he said something in the past, huh?
I mean, he did. He said something in the past for sure. Chris Rock did.
Yeah.
Now maybe something actually happened in the past offline too that we never heard about.
Yeah.
But it ain't just that. It's look at how many years. And I think Will Smith was bottled up. We kind of saw it in his acceptance speech. But look at like how many. And I'm not justifying Will Smith actions.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that like for the actions that he chose, I'm considering like how many years he been going through bullshit with Jada, and him being in a limelight for things that they didn't choose to be in a limelight for, from like open relationship kind of rumors and people just knowing that they in an open relationship when I don't think they ever actually said that, but it's like people just know it.
Yeah.
That thing, and then the August Alsina stuff, and then like every year Jada like tells Tupac like how much she like still love him and he like the love of her life, and stuff like that, you know. And even if she not doing or saying that stuff is like carried over through like the media, like all the time. Like everybody doing think pieces and carrying it over. Even right now, like we talking and stuff like that. So they like subject to like this stuff like all the time. And like I said, I think Chris Rock was an easy target. It's like, yo, I could get some of my frustrations off with the masses of people that's always saying something about me on this dude right here, right now in the flesh. I could get it off on him because he right here.
Yeah.
And he's pretty much my level. You know, he not Will Smith like level as far as probably money and like for the roles he played. But this is elite Hollywood we talk about. These guys are both. Chris Rock is a legend.
Yeah.
He's a comedic legend. Like he gonna go down with the greats.
Yeah.
And Will Smith is a legend. I'm not saying again I have to separate his what I think he brings to the table as an actor from like what he brings to the table as a legend.
Yeah.
You know, and he's a legend or whatever like that. So I think he feel like, yeah, I could do this. This is easy. You know what I'm saying? This is the elites playing with each other. This ain't me going and slapping every single person that's like right in the back. So I think Chris Rock had to kind of like take the slap for all of Will Smith's years of frustrations, man. And even so he could have something to say when he in that car with Jada and she like, yo, why'd you laugh?
Yeah.
You know, I was like,
I tell you what,
like,
man,
like get up there and slap the dude.
That's why you got to give Chris Rock some love. Man. Ain't nothing, man. I would have hit him right in the back of his head. So hard, man. I ain't no way, but he just slapped and just turned around like it wasn't nothing. That's the only thing I be thinking about, man. Like you telling me no reaction.
He turned around like James Bond.
Damn.
He turned around like Steph Curry.
Like
he turned around
nothing.
like Steph. Like when Steph shoot, you know, when Steph shoot the three, man, he know it's going in.
Just turn around.
He turned around.
I know Chris ain't gonna do nothing. I know he ain't gonna do that. Just turned around on it.
Ain't about to do
I want to like before we get up out of here, man. I want to make sure everybody know my stance on this. I do not condone nothing Will Smith did. I do think he deserved to win the Oscar that he won, but I do not condone nothing that he did by slapping Chris Rock. And I also want to say that Chris Rock was professional as hell doing that whole process, man. And I have to give him props for that because I know everybody he gonna be the butt of a lot of jokes, getting slapped and all that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, man, I think he did the best he can do with the circumstance that was going on, man. And I most definitely don't think the people who look up to Will Smith, I most definitely don't think he should have did the things he did.
Chris Rock, I second that. Chris Rock was a class act in the aftermath
Yeah, yeah,
of
yeah,
that. I don't think that like people talking about if The Rock would have made the joke or whatever, that's everybody's hero. I don't think The Rock would have made that joke. I don't think The Rock would have made that joke about Jada. I don't think that joke was scripted. I think he went off. I think he made a mistake. I don't think he knew about the alopecia because I didn't, and some other people I don't think knew either. Um, um, so I think he made a mistake in making that joke. I don't think he would have made the joke if he knew about her health conditions was the reason why her hair was like that. But I believe everything after that, he kind of took it and he understood it. I'm interested in hearing what they have to say about this in the aftermath
yeah,
of it. Again, I'm not going to talk about the decision that Will Smith made if I think is right or wrong. I will say that I don't think that that's the route I would take, and my wife doesn't demand of me to take that route. I don't think this gonna hurt Will Smith at all. His career is still is done. He's a legend. He don't need another role. I don't think he's not going to get invited to the Academy or nothing like that. I just hope he continue to make good movies like this King Richard movie was. I know he got an Oscar. He might want to go back to doing more Men in Blacks or Wild Wild Wests, and I really don't want him to like keep making good movies and stuff like that. But again, we got on here. We wanted to talk. This does not, in my opinion, this is not furthering the career of any junior seller or nothing. But I'm sure there's something that everybody was talking about on the ship. And it's something that we probably would be kind of talking about on the ship as well. And then maybe when we get back, we'll talk about how this could be connected to what I was saying about Leo and Denzel, about how when you're really consistently good, the measuring the goal line is moved because people expect that. But
yeah.
yeah,
I
this
agree.
is by the way.
Well, by the
Be
way,
episode
man,
7. Man.
see ya.
Peace out.